Dude, they nerfed your stream.
Hey, welcome to Command HQ. We're doing an emergency Sunday night stream here, just a brief 10 or 15 minute stream to talk about this power outage in North Carolina. Agent X, you've got limited information about this, but what's going on here?
Well, all I heard was that two power stations I heard one, and then I heard two. I'm not sure which is correct. That they were shot with a shotgun. Power's down in North Carolina for like 40,000 people. But it's much more serious than that. Internet's down. People are being told to shelter in place. I mean, 40,000 people is a lot of people. Sorry, I saw something online. But I'm not laughing at the power outage. But no, it's I think it's sort of a prelude, man. Is it a test? Is it an actual attack? We don't know.
I mean, who's working on fixing these issues?
I mean, presumably we have some contractors, I guess. I mean, I like the website you have up there, North Carolina County under curfew, FBI investigating. I mean, this is wild stuff. Wild stuff.
It's front page news on Reuters. I checked Fox News as well. Apparently, because this county relies on this particular substation, that there's cops, sheriffs located at every intersection to protect against looting. And so this would indicate something larger, perhaps, law enforcement in this instance knows more than just the regular population there in this county in North Carolina. Because normally when there's like a power outage like this, the cops don't do shit. So what's going on? I mean, like, this is nuts. And the fact that it's suddenly like amplified to such a degree, I mean, we need to pull up that YouTube Canadian prepper as well. He was talking about this, so let me pull that up.
You can't really rely on anything. I mean, he sort of aggregates news, but you got to remember, you can't rely on anything that dude says because he's trying to hawk products on you too. And he's like getting into expensive generators and things like that, and it's just like, dude. I don't know what to say about that.
He is talking about, in other streams he's talking about trying to sell these generators or whatever. But what's interesting is all these comments, and you can kind of see where people's, if you do some sentiment analysis here and try and discern what people are thinking about this, and it seems like the general sort of thesis here from all these comments, if you aggregate them and just read a bunch of them, which I did really quickly, is that people really are concerned about this, most importantly. And then secondly, for example, they're saying this is a test of the power system and, the powers that be that can sort of maintain or have some sustainability in the grid itself. And so it just makes you wonder, like, who's working on fixing these issues and how long is it going to take? Apparently the local power company there is saying that it's going to be until Thursday. But it makes you wonder, like, people are like, okay, so they're concerned about their family, which is normal. They're especially the elderly. And, a lot of these insulated populations, particularly near, you're more familiar with this area than I am, but it's somewhat rural, so these people have supplies. But it's really, really easy to take out society with whatever measures were used in this particular case. Now, we don't necessarily know. I mean, they're saying that it was someone using a firearm that then discharged ammunition at a substation, at a transformer, but you just never really know. And like, who was it? What was the motive? Why wasn't this person caught? And then there's a lot of comments here where they're talking about, well, why isn't the grid more protected? Why don't we have greater surveillance capabilities? So that's another issue.
Hold on. Let me send this to you in the guest chat. I don't know what this is about, but there's a link.
Pull it up. Tell me more. What is this?
This looks like it was posted. It's posted to 4chan, and I guess this lady, she led a group protesting a drag show in North Carolina, and then posted and told her followers, "You know what to do." Soon after, right-wing terrorists knocked out a power for 40,000 Americans to stop the show, and she said the power is out, and I know why. So I guess she had some involvement in it. I mean, I find it hard to believe that they knocked it out to stop a drag show.
I'm so confused right now. Okay, so I'm reading this. Oh my God. Okay, so just to be clear, someone is putting a meme out alleging, of course, these are just allegations on the internet, which mean nothing.
Okay, here's another one. Here's her tweet. Here's her actual tweet. What's up, G? Diggs, by the way.
Hey, what's up, Diggs? Hey, Diggs, what do you think of this power outage? You think it's a test?
So I just sent you another.
Okay.
So that's a tweet.
Did you send it through the guest chat?
Yeah.
I just have the same JPEG.
It says the sheriff went to her house. Oh, do you have the same?
Just have the same JPEG URL. Send me the tweet URL.
No, they're different. They're different.
Oh, they're different. Okay.
Well, it says the sheriff went to her house after the social media post. She claims she knew it was God's work. Anyone who is local knows what she is capable of. She's been a local menace for years now. Sounds like your type of girl, Brock. You should try to get fixed up with her.
Emily Grace, she's an officer in the Army. It looks like she's enlisted based on her uniform. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like maybe someone who is disgruntled, who is using this potentially as like some sort of political statement. So it really makes you wonder, and you know, the power is out in Moore County. I know why. So let me, sorry, it's late at night, Sunday night. We're gonna do a brief stream here, but Emily Grace. So is this the same woman pictured in this meme?
Yes.
Oh my God. Theoretically, of course, these are allegations. No one knows really what's going on. But if you were hypothetically the person who were to do such a thing like this, why would you post something like this on your Facebook? It doesn't make any sense, right?
Because it's wild, man.
Because these people are fucking... People do really weird shit. Anyways, it's possible.
People are desperate for attention, bro.
But there's another side to this, though, too, that like they're trying to blame this on a right-wing conservative when it could be something far more complicated than
Well,
that, and it's like a false flag.
let's assume that it was, you know, but for the sake of argument, let's assume that it was, some right wing extremist or somebody, a domestic person who was disgruntled and went and shot up the power station, right? It just goes to show you, man, that this country is teetering every day more and more towards a civil war. Um, like I think we're in the midst of it, but it's starting to turn violent.
Yeah, it is, and people are saying the internet is out too. So, like, if the power goes down, why would the internet go out? Because that's on like a different, insulated, separate power system. I'm assuming than just the traditional, electrical grid that is going through this particular area. So it's just very weird. And people, this is impacting just tons and tons of people. People are really, really pissed. I mean, just look at the stream of comments. This is like endless scrolling of comments. People are really pissed, and they're saying that, the three-letter agencies should be investigated for not protecting the power system in this particular case. And they're comparing it to the hurricane outages, and then they're mapping it also to some of the earlier blackouts like in the 1960s in New York. I think this is far more complicated, because if this was intentional, I mean, a lot of these earlier power outages were just accidents, or like infrastructure that failed. This, from what initial reporting suggests, is, an intentional act. So we know that, but who is it? Why was it done? Yeah, but I agree with you, Agent X. This does seem like maybe a prelude to an event that would lead to a civil conflict in this country, particularly given the fact that it's happening in North Carolina.
Yeah, isn't it? I don't. You didn't watch the show. It just had its season finale. It's called The Peripheral, and it's like this future, like time travel type of thing. People from the future can, it's all mumbo jumbo, but they use quantum tunneling to go back in the past and create branches, timelines. And the reason they do it is because they want to learn how to avoid an apocalypse in their own timeline. And what set it off was a what set off this, like they call it the jackpot. I think there's books. It's based on a series of books. But what started the jackpot, which led to civil unrest and Texas's secession and a bunch of other things, and mass pandemic. But what led to it was a right wing militia group blowing up a missile silo in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, so they put these things out there, right? Like they condition you, right? It's they condition you with stories and entertainment that eventually become reality. I mean, you've seen all the references to the Twin Towers getting destroyed in The Simpsons and other cartoons and all sorts of things. It's conditioning.
Well, not to get off track here, but a lot of the writers for The Simpsons are connected to the deep state. A lot of them went to Ivy League schools, Harvard, Princeton, Yale. And so you see like kind of a mirroring of the sort of abstract knowledge that they've gained from being in these sort of social environments and connected to, players in the federal government and even state government, like really high up positions in state governments. But this is, I haven't seen a story like this break out to such a degree where it becomes front page news when it's a simple power outage. So there's something larger at play. That's another fact. And the other thing, I would probably disagree. I think this is kind of a false flag situation. I think they're trying to project or blame this on someone like this particular enlisted soldier in the Army. Apparently, her name is Emily Grace Rainey. Or no, Rainey, sorry. I looks like an L. Anyways, all right. Any other comments out there? Right now, I think we're going to end the stream, but please do subscribe to the channel. Agent X, anything else you want to add before we shut this down?
Nah, man. Everybody just needs to stay safe out there. Probably, we're going into the holiday season. Midterms are over. I expect things. I mean, you're starting to see layoffs in all these companies now that the midterms are over. I expect to see things kind of ratchet up.
You're also seeing a lot of layoffs. Yeah, right now, right after the midterms, of course. They really wanted to make sure that people weren't aware of how terrible the economy was when people were about to vote,
Well, there's a
right?
lot of distractions right now, too. There's Kanye West. He fired my...
Total distraction.
Distractions with Elon Musk, distractions with, Hunter Biden stuff, when real stuff is going down. Like we said today on the stream, Russia parked bombers in China. Russia broke off nuclear deproliferation talks with the United States because and said they wouldn't re-engage until the United States stopped providing aid to Ukraine. These things are getting real. We're going to be in the middle of a hot war, and on top of that, there is a concerted effort to destroy the dollar as the world's reserve currency and implement a central bank digital currency.
Yeah, this could be connected to the financial system, right? Like a power outage somehow impacting how banks can make transactions and settle transactions. Settlement, of course, is the most important part of any sort of financial aggregation or ingestion sort of process. And so power is critical to the financial system, and like who's protecting this nexus between our power systems in this case and banks and financial transaction capabilities, right?
Yep, exactly. Well, I'm gonna hit the sack, bro.
All right. Please do subscribe. We'll see you probably this next week, but this was an important piece of news that we wanted to quickly share and give our analysis on. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye.
Kind of light with powers and properties unlike anything that existed before. Laser light.